Hi, everyone. I just wanted to give a quick message to all of the people that have seen our campaign, Kimcha D'Pischa, to help the poor Jews in Eretz Israel. Um, Everyone knows I generally hate to talk about money. I talk about it randomly to help us do kiruv, to help us get to Am Yisrael, to closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And of course, part of the things that we do in our organization is help different people that are avrechim, bnei Torah, poor families in Eretz Yisrael. Every month we send money to Eretz Yisrael to help people, and usually we do a little more during, before the holidays to help as many people as possible. Well, with the COVID-19 coronavirus that's hit the world, including Eretz Yisrael, Baruch Hashem, not as much, but nonetheless, still, the economic situation in the world is worse than many have seen in years. And of course, everyone knows that the poor people suffer the most. We started a campaign a few days ago to try to raise $100,000 to help poor neshamot, poor families in Eretz Yisrael. We already sent $10,000 ahead of time. We're trying to raise a little bit more money. If you look at the campaign link below, we raised about maybe 9,000 or so, and we already sent another 20,000 on top of it. Pretty much the money that was raised and money that wasn't raised, and the reason why is because the calls that we're getting are simply heartbreaking. The stories are horrendous, and it's time we as a nation, we as lovers of Torah, we as lovers of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, fulfill the verse, Mi ekdimani v'ashalem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says that, who did me a favor and I will pay him? Meaning that there's nothing in the world that we've ever done that's Hashem didn't already do us a favor to allow us to do it. But when it comes to tzedakah, when it comes to doing chesed, when it comes to helping his people, this is very different. The Gemara in Masechet Beitzah and also in Rosh Hashanah, both on page 16, say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu decides how much parnasah, how much money a person's going to make already on Rosh Hashanah. But when it comes to the money that they're going to use to do mitzvot, to help Am Yisrael, to do kiruv, that's not included, because everything that a person is going to do and donate, Hashem will pay him on top of his salary, on top of what was already designated for him. Now, when it comes to chesed, when it comes to helping people above and beyond the norm, above the maaser, there are times we all know that we have to do a lot more than normal, especially when you have a plague in the world that's putting all of our lives in danger. Now, as everybody knows, our world hasn't changed in the sense that we're still doing shurim, we're still putting ourselves out there. Coronavirus, no coronavirus, the Torah has to continue. The shurim keep going on. Bezat Hashem will have another shur tonight. And the live crowd, is not as large, obviously. We only have a few people coming. But the audience around the world has grown by maybe 150, 250%. The numbers are exceptional. People are waking up. But at the same token, we have to take advantage of the opportunity that we all have right now. HaKadosh Baruch Hu put all of us in seclusion in order to think about what we're doing. And one of the things that I'm realizing is that we're simply not doing enough. Nobody's doing enough to help the poor people that don't have another choice. In the next couple of weeks, we're all going to be celebrating Pesach. And you can have matzah, you can have maror, you're going to have your nice seudah with the nice dishes and the nice plates and the nice everything. And Bezat Hashem, everybody enjoys the luxury that Hashem gave them, especially in the Western society. But then there are families that we're seeing it, not just we're getting messages from them. We're seeing, we're meeting them, we know them. They're not going to have that. There's one woman that I told you guys about on Sunday that her husband was murdered right in front of her a few years ago. The company, the organization that said they're going to raise money to help her and her kids ended up taking all the money and ran away. This is one of the people we're trying to help right now. We are helping already now. Another woman has 8 kids. A husband ran away, left her with no money, took all the money they had, to the extent where she didn't have money to turn on electricity. We paid our electricity bill 2 weeks ago, Baruch Hashem, right before Shabbat. But with 8 kids, no money, practically no food. This is a person that is part of our nation. We're helping them. There's a whole community in Yavniel. One tragic story after another. Another family with 6 kids, no food, no nothing. Another family where they have several of the kids are very sick. Several families of Avrechim, Bnei Torah, 40, 50 years learning Torah straight. They struggled throughout the year anyway. One guy didn't have even chicken for chicken soup, so he asked one of the other Avrechim to give him the bones from the chicken that he's going to eat on Shabbat, so he could put some flavoring in his chicken, the following day for his kids. Several orphans, several divorcees, one family with 13 kids, one family with 10. One family, the father just had a stroke this year. He Shem Yishmo v'Yatzil. Many sick people, and all I can tell you is that we're not shortchanging anyone. We're giving everyone that we can money to or food or both to help them, and the people are simply crying from joy. They're crying from joy. They saw no hope, they saw no light, and then suddenly an organization they never heard of gives them money, gives them food, more than even buy for themselves when times are good. And because we can't just sit here and do nothing. So we cry to HaKadosh Baruch Hu all the time. We cry because we're sick. We cry because we don't have enough money. We cry because there's all types of disagreements with families. We cry because of this, and we cry because of that. It's time that we do something about it. Now, everybody has something to give. Some people have $5, some people have $5,000. I ask you to step it up, to do more. This is not going to our pockets. As I said, we've already sent $30,000 before we raised it, and we're trying to get to at least $100,000. And trust me when I tell you, even $100,000 wouldn't be enough, but at least it would hit the surface. It would do something. It'll have some type of impact on thousands of people. We're talking about already with the 30,000, we've already approached close to 1,000 people. So there is each family, Baruch Hashem, is growing and is big, and unfortunately has major needs. We're not going to people that already have. We're first starting out with people that simply do not have anything else. They don't know how they're going to finish the week and get food for Shabbat. Needless to say, for Pesach. So please, I beg you to look into your heart, understand the need. Don't sit there quietly. Don't be stingy. Don't be one of these people that says, wait, but we have issues right now because I don't have a job and coronavirus and this virus. Listen, HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows what he's doing. There are people right now that are losing, and there are people right now that are winning. Why? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu already saw what they did and what they're doing, and therefore he is doing what he's doing. If we give, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us. That's why he said, Mi ekdimani v'ashalem. Who did me a favor, meaning who helped my kids, who did something for me, who became my partner, and I'll pay him right now. There is no better partner in the world than HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When you're helping his kids, you're not the only option he has. You're simply making yourself into a vessel. And that's the reality. If you don't help, somebody else will. Hashem will find somebody else. But why not take advantage of this opportunity to help Klal Yisrael, to step it up, to do something about it? And again, it's one of those things that I hate to talk about. I hate talking about money. I was in the money business for almost 20 years. And the last thing I want to talk about is money. But at the same token, I can't sit there when my brothers and sisters don't have food to eat. There are thousands of them, hundreds of thousands of them. And we're just trying to reach some in different communities, in Bnei Brak, in Yerushalayim, in Yavniel, in Bet Shemesh, in Netanya, and all these tzaddikim and tzaddikot are helping us. They're going to buy food for them, or they're just giving them the money so they buy the food, or both. We're making sure that they're going to be okay. Why? Because we're okay, so we have to make sure our brothers are okay. Don't just be okay. Make sure that your brother's okay. Because that's what brings the Shekhinah to the world. I'll finish it off with a story. There's a very famous story in the Gemara where there were two brothers that had a business together. They had all types of fruits and vegetables they would sell on the market. And one of the brothers was married with kids while the other brother was single. And after they've accumulated all of their fruits and vegetables and so on, and went their own way, one brother said, "Listen, I can't believe I'm such a bad brother. I don't have a family. I don't have any kids. And my poor brother, he has a family, he has kids, and I'm taking just as much as him. Why? He has more expenses than I do. I can't do it." So he got up in the middle of the night and he decided to take some of the sacks of fruits and vegetables that he had and go and drop it off in the side of his brother. That same night, the brother wakes up and he says, "I can't believe I'm such a bad brother. I already have a family, I already have kids, I got things taken care of. My poor brother, he's going to have to start a family soon. He's going to have to get married. Surely he's going to have a lot more expenses than me. How could I just sit there while my brother is going to struggle? I can't do it. I can't be such a horrible brother." And he gets up in the middle of the night, he takes a few sacks, and he goes to his brother's side, and he leaves them there. The same thing happens the following night. Each one wakes up and goes to the other camp and puts the sacks there. And every day they wake up in the morning and they're amazed that no matter what they do, they're still left with the same amount. How could this be? I give him 2 sacks and I'm left with the same 10 that I had. I give him 3 sacks and I'm still left with the 10 that I had. Every night it's the same exact thing. And they can't figure it out. And then they just say, "Wow, Hashem is blessing me even before I even had to do anything for it." And then after the 3rd night, they both do the same thing. And they meet in the middle of the journey, seeing each other. "You're the one that gave. You're the one that gave." And they embrace each other, they hug each other, and they tell each other how much they love each other. HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw these two brothers hugging, and he was smiling, and he was happy, and he said, "This is the place that I'm going to build my Bet HaMikdash." Why? These two brothers cared about each other without waiting for the other person to ask, without waiting for the other person to plead, without asking the other person to convince. These two cared enough about each other to think about each other before it was too late, before they had to embarrass themselves, before they even knew they needed. They just thought enough about each other that say, "You know what, he's probably going to need, so let me just go help him." The difference is here, Rabotai, is that we already know that our brothers need. I have stories of people crying to me, crying to Rabbi Ephraim, crying to the Rabbanit, from happiness that we just gave them a few $100s for food. We're not talking about giving people tens of thousands of dollars, Ribono Shel Olam. For a couple $100, you feed a family. For $2,000, you feed 10 families. Here in America, the average family is going to spend $2,000 on itself. How can we live like this and let them not eat? How can we spend $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 on ourselves, on our seder, and knowing that with that same kind of money we can feed hundreds of people? I'm not saying not to eat. I'm not saying not to enjoy. But let's not forget our brothers, because Kol Israel Aravim Ze Lazeh. Please, Rabotai, be generous. This is not a joke. This is not a sales pitch. This is simply me trying to tell you that it's time for us to all step up. If we want a Kadosh Baruch Hu to bring the Shekhinah to the world, to bring good to the world, to end the bad and bring good, we have to do good. And it's not just worrying about the neshama of our brother, it's also worrying about the body of our brother. And that's what the Baalei Musal says, Rabbi Yisrael Misalan says. Yes, you have to worry about your friend's neshama. You have to worry about him doing tshuva. But you also have to worry about his body too. Please, Rabotai, let's worry about our brothers. They simply need someone to step up and be a vessel. Let's be that vessel. Kol Tuv, Atzlacha Rabba.